Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something truly exciting, building a seamless, working bridge between a local AI and your ClickHouse database using Ollama and the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. I mean, if you've ever just wanted to chat with your database using natural language without having to write a single line of complex SQL yourself, well, you're in the exact right place. We're going to walk through the exact steps to turn your local language model into a powerful automated data analyst that can securely query your ClickHouse SQL playground.
So here is our developer roadmap for today. We'll start by defining the AI database bridge, move on to installing local LLMs, setting up MCPHost, configuring your server, exploring transport types, and wrap up with querying and model sizes. Let's get right into it.
Okay, Section 1, the AI database bridge.
Let's look at the core challenge we're facing here. Your valuable data is sitting over in ClickHouse, right? Maybe it's even running securely up in ClickHouse Cloud. Meanwhile, your AI brain is hanging out in Ollama, running totally locally on your laptop. Out of the box, these two things just do not speak the same language. They're like two isolated islands. Enter MCPHost. Think of this Go application as the absolute crucial bridge connecting those islands. It sits perfectly in the middle, and it actively translates the natural language intent from your Ollama model into the structured, specific tool calls that the ClickHouse MCP server actually understands.
To make this whole thing incredibly easy to follow, we're going to break the entire setup down into 4 logical steps so you can get up and running fast. We install the AI, we install the bridge, we wire them together with a config file, and then we get to the really fun part, running real-time queries against our data.
Moving right along to Section 2, installing local LLMs.
Let's start with our AI brain. Ollama is fantastic because it lets you run large language models entirely locally. That means absolutely zero data leaves your machine for processing, which is huge for security. You just download the installer from Mac, Windows, or Linux and spin up the local server. But, and this is an insider pro tip you really need to watch out for, the model you download must explicitly have tool support. If it doesn't know how to trigger external actions, well, your bridge basically collapses before it's even built. Right now, the Qwen 3 model is an absolutely phenomenal default choice to act as your intelligent agent.
All right, Section 3, setting up MCPHost.
With Ollama completely ready to go, let's actually construct this bridge. Because MCPHost is built in the Go programming language, you're going to install it directly via the command line. You simply need to make sure you have Go installed on your machine first. Now, when you run that installation command, the binary gets neatly tucked away in your home directory, specifically under go/bin. And here is a classic developer trap we have literally all fallen for. You absolutely must make sure that specific directory is added to your system path. If it's not, your terminal just won't recognize the MCPHost commands later on, and you'll be scratching your head wondering why.
Section 4, configuring your server. Now that our core tools are actually installed, we have to wire them all together. You're going to create a file named .mcpost.json right in your home directory. Inside that file, you'll format a really simple JSON object that defines your server name and the command to run it. But hey, pay super close attention to security here. Please do not hardcode your credentials into that JSON file. While some standard setups might let you get away with that, MCPHost specifically requires you to export your ClickHouse credentials, so that's your host, port, username, and password, directly as environment variables in your terminal before you even run the application.
Let's jump into Section 5, transport types.
If we look a bit closer at that JSON configuration we just built, you're going to notice a required field called type. You have to map this exactly to your transport method. So here's how you choose. You use local if you want standard input/output on the same machine. You'll switch to remote for streamable transport, and that is absolutely perfect if your ClickHouse server lives elsewhere, like up in ClickHouse Cloud. And finally, built-in uses in-process transport. Getting this mapping right in your JSON file is what ensures the data flows cleanly from ClickHouse right back over the bridge into your local LLM. So once your config is saved and those environment variables are properly set, you can start MCPHost right from the command line, just passing it the name of your downloaded model, like Qwen 3. And once it boots up, you can instantly validate that your new bridge is fully operational. You just type /servers to verify it actually sees your ClickHouse connection, and /tools to see all the awesome database actions your AI is now empowered to take.
And finally, Section 6, querying and model sizes.
All right, it is officially time for the test drive. But you're immediately going to face a real-world trade-off here between speed and accuracy. The default Qwen 3 model, which sits at about 8 billion parameters, is lightning fast on standard laptops, but
it does need a bit of hand-holding to get things right. If you step up to the 14 billion parameter version, it understands broad context beautifully. It can literally figure out complex database schemas totally on its own, but it is definitely going to slow down typical consumer hardware.
Now, if you do opt for the faster 8 billion parameter model to save your memory, you're going to want to use a breadcrumb approach. Don't just jump in right away and demand analyze my sales table. The model might just get confused. Instead, you've got to successfully guide the AI. Start by prompting it, list the databases. Then say, list the tables in the analytics database. Once it actually has that context loaded into its memory, then you finally request your specific query, like show me the top 5 records from the user's table. Using this step-by-step method really guarantees that those smaller LLMs can navigate your ClickHouse schema perfectly.
And just like that, by carefully following these steps, you've successfully transformed an isolated local AI into a fully equipped data analyst that speaks directly to your ClickHouse infrastructure. You've installed Ollama, deployed the MCPHost bridge, configured your secure JSON environment, and learned how to prompt effectively based on your specific hardware limits. So now that your local AI can intelligently and securely explore your data, what amazing insights are you going to uncover first? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. And hey, happy querying!